Hey there, folks. Frank Zarilla here. September 1st, 2025, Monday. Happy Labor Day. We're off today. This is the weekly watch list video, right? We're looking at weekly stocks, which, by the way, I think for most people, for a majority of the people who are busy working during the day, I think the weekly setups is the way to go, right? You worry about one candle, not all the intraday stuff or all the daily stuff, okay? So what I do is very simply, I'm looking for stocks that are seeing some type of contraction, stocks that have been basing for a long time. So in other words, let me just go over a few of them that I own that from previous videos. MDT sideways for about roughly 3 years. SFIX sideways for 3 years. This one already gave the opportunity. We went long this one, and it already hit 1x. MDT. Then you have others. ASPI was one from last week that also, although it pulled back, it triggered and it hit 1x. And then 1x is very simple. It's when you take your buy stop minus your sell stop, and then you add that to your buy stop. That becomes your first target. Once you reach your first target, you raise your stop to break even. This did it last week. So either way, so every weekend, what I do is I take all the stocks that had an inside week and all the stocks that had an NR7, which is the smallest candle in the last 7 weeks. And I take, for the most part, all the companies or all the stocks that are down 3 weeks in a row, right? So what you want to do is daily chart, weekly chart, any type of time frame is you want to start to see where are moves starting from, right? So let's say, for example, this move right over here started from, the stock being down a couple of weeks in a row. This one started here from an inside week, right? Where the low is higher than the previous low and the high is lower than the previous high. So that started this move over here. This move over here started with it, with it being down multiple weeks in a row. It prints an inside weak candle, and that's where this small move started here. This move over here started from an inside week, right? This move here started also from an inside week. So this is the reason why you come up with these scans. You want to go through charts, and you want to ask yourself and pinpoint from where are these moves starting from. Right? Not your natural cookie cutter technical analysis that says, hey, this high here, this is the breakout level. No one cares about this, because how you get to this breakout level is important. We're up here 5 weeks in a row, has a small little up candle, and then it goes down. You want to know where are moves starting from, right? That is more important than these cookie cutters. Oh, if it breaks this high here, 10 cents above. No, where are the moves starting from, right? So for this week, we have Trip. Trip, if you can see here, had a tremendous candle on huge volume, 28 million shares. The news, very simple, was that Starboard takes a 9% stake, 10 million shares. It calls the company undervalued. Since then, the stock has been trading kind of sideways, and over the last couple of weeks, you see the tightness. It closed here at 1762. It closed this week at 1769. It closed this week at 1742. 3 weeks of tight action. As you can see here, how it's consolidating this big move. The stock is 19% of the float is short. More importantly, as of 8/14, which is the last time we got all those 13F filings from hedge funds, this stock has been accumulated by multiple hedge funds. It's been rated a stock is under accumulation by hedge funds. Inside weak candle on the lowest volume of the last 10 weeks. I like this stock going through 1773. Call it buy stop 1775, 1780, and your sell stop has got to be here at $16.65. QBTS is one that it was on the list last week. It didn't trigger. Quantum name, still somewhat a theme play. This stock, along with all the quantum names and all the crypto names, same exact weekly patterns. They all had a tremendous move at the end of last year, right over here. And then since then, they've been trading for the most part sideways. No net movement. So this stock traded an inside week on the lowest volume in the last 10 weeks. I like the stock going through 1629. The sell stop, you got to give it to this yellow line, which is a 21-week moving average, which is at roughly $14.20. Next on the list, another quantum name, same exact pattern as the previous one, had a huge move at the end of last year. And since the beginning of this year, this stock has done nothing at all. It's actually down 15% for the most part from here to here. Inside weak candle, right? The daily chart also looks great. It's got the same exact trigger from Monday. High here of 1617, stop loss here at 1370. And again, what you want to do is you want to take the buy stop, call it 1620 minus the stop loss here, 1372. You take the difference, that becomes your first target. Once the first target is reached, then you can raise your stop to break even, and for the most part you have a free trade unless the stock gaps down. Okay, you can also sell a little bit on the way up, plus 10%, plus 15, whatever the case may be. But that is, if you want to do it in a mechanical way, that is one of the best ways. The QUBT also has a double ETF, which is QUBX. Very similar situation. Once the QUBT triggers, you can take this instead. It's a 2 times ETF. KC is a Chinese name. Chinese stocks have been doing okay. Okay, very similar to all to the crypto names and the quantum names. At the end of last year, this stock had a major move, and since then it's been trading sideways. Buy stop high over here is 518. Buy stop 1520, 15.25. You can see here the 10-week and 21-week and the 200-day moving average, which is the 40-week. They're all hugging. They're all trading, which means the stock has done nothing for the last whatever it is, 8 months. So here going through this high, 1518 is the trigger. Sell stop, you can put it here at 1290, right over here, on the break, on the close below the 10-week or 20-week moving average. WRD is another Chinese name. We ride. You can see here these purple candles, which means that the stock was up 4% or more on 3 times the volume. It traded 44 million shares this week, traded 142 million this week, 131, 147, and 125. Dude, this is huge volume. Where did this move start from? This move from here to here, which was roughly about 60%. We were down multiple weeks in a row. And then we go through this high. That's where the move started. Okay? So now what we have is you can call this a cup and handle, whatever you want. You can also call this another move. When did this move started? On the inside week candle, goes through this high and it's up roughly 26%. Right over here, we have 3 weeks of a very tight pattern. We have this 21-week moving average, which has been resistance for the last 4 weeks. We also have this IPO day anchor VWAP. This stock going through here at 993. Buy stop 998, $10 a share. Sell stock right over here at 884. Right? And again, we have tightness. We have a close here of 992, a close here of 952, a close here of 936. Back-to-back inside weeks. This week happens to be on the lowest volume in the last 10 weeks. Right? So that's my list for the names. So what do? I'm going to go here. I'm going to put an alert on all these stocks going through the previous week's high. So now that I have this, let me just do here, place 5 alerts. Now that I have the alerts on all these stocks, I am going to go to my spreadsheet. I am going to put the buy stop. I'm going to put the sell stop. Based on how much I'm willing to risk, based on how much capital I have, it's going to tell me how many shares to buy, right? Then I'm going to go to my software, my trading software, Interactive Brokers. I'm going to put the names there, and I'm going to be ready to buy these things as they trigger, okay? They might trigger, they might not trigger. Beforehand, we have 5 names on the list. We have no idea which one's going to trigger. We have no idea which the winner is. What we want to do is we want to place the same amount of money in each trade and buy them as they trigger. Okay, if you have any questions in regards to this little strategy, just email me. I'll put it in the room. But my suggestion, along with any single time frame, what you want to ask yourself is, where are these moves starting from? Okay, and then you want to build scans around those commonalities of where these moves are starting from. Are they starting from 52-week highs, 52-week lows? Are they starting when they're down multiple weeks in a row? Are they starting when they're, within 2% of their 10-day or 21-day moving average? So these are all the things that you should do on your own, so that way you can start building your own scans and you have some type of grasp of what it is that works or doesn't work. All right, so trade them well.